Hi you guys, my name is Cherita. Welcome to my channel. Alright. Circle, send, message. Today we're discussing episodes 1 through 12 before the season finale next weekend. Head explosion emoji and send. Why am I like this? That was corny. But anyway, yes, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the show, The Circle. Now, here's the thing. I've been watching The Circle since last season, like when it first came out, season 1, and I fell in love. I can't even really tell you 100% why I like the show, but I enjoy it thoroughly. So we're going to be talking about season 2. It is Wednesday, April 28th, and I have watched every single episode. They come out in 4s, and I am all caught up, and I just want to talk about the show. So this is full of spoilers, and also I want to discuss on like who I want to win and like who I've been rooting for and all that other stuff. So if you guys are interested in this video, go ahead and keep watching. Before I get started, make sure you click subscribe for new content whenever I post. And also do not forget to click the notification bell so that you are notified every single time that I post a video. So let's get started. And per usual, I will be putting makeup on this blank face. Okay, so I'm gonna try to make this video as fast, or not fast, but as short as possible. So we're gonna start off with episode 1. Episode 1 is where we met the first 8 contestants. And they consisted of Bryant, Savannah, Chloe, Courtney, Delisa, Jack, Lee, and Terralisha. Now, those are their real names. As you know, or you may not know, sometimes people go onto the circle as a catfish. And basically, the name of the game is to try to be the most popular person and to get, people to vote for you, as their favorite person, and whoever wins gets $100,000. That's the best way I can explain it. So the first 8 contestants came in, and right away, there were like 3.5 catfish. So Delisa is playing her husband, Trevor. Lee is playing some kid named River. Jack is playing this cute little sorority girl, Emily. And Courtney is himself, but he puts himself off as like a barista type person and not in the entertainment industry, which is what he does. And then everybody else is themselves. Chloe actually came from another show called Too Hot to Handle. If you haven't watched that, I advise you guys to watch that show because that's also like a guilty pleasure type show. Yes.
Yeah.
What's up?
You're filming. I'll make it quick. Are you picking up Miles?
Yes. Okay. So first of all, I already messed up my makeup. I usually start with concealer, but my mind is whatever. So anyway, immediately, this is episode 1. The girls, so Emily, who's played by Jack, Terralisha, Chloe, and Savannah, they start, a little girl alliance or whatever. At the end of the first episode, you find out that Savannah and Terralisha are influencers, which means they decide who's going to get blocked from the circle. And then but they have to each save a person. So what we find out is Terralisha saves Emily. Terralisha saves Emily, and Savannah saves Trevor. I thought that was weird because, they built their, hashtag girl alliance or whatever, and they still were able to, save people, or not save people, but there were still people that they could have blocked. which means that they still could have saved people without officially saving them. So I just found it weird that Savannah, instead of saving Chloe and fighting for Trevor, she chose to save Trevor and then have to fight for everybody else. I don't know. I didn't like it. You can look at it how you want to, but the way I look at it is she did Chloe dirty. When Terralisha and Savannah went into the little circle to talk about who they wanted to eliminate, Terralisha was, playing strategic and talked about blocking Courtney. Now, Courtney is well liked. He's a funny guy, and a lot of people like him. But Terralisha knows that, and Terralisha understands that Courtney is like her biggest, not enemy, but you know what I mean, like threat. And so they talked about saving or eliminating Courtney. And Savannah was just like, no, like, we've talked and I like him and yada, yada, yada. So Savannah took what Terralisha said to heart, I guess, and she ended up not trusting, they ended up not trusting each other. And the person to get eliminated was Bryant, bless his heart. Bryant is like this spiritual hippie, like he's called like a deep breather person. I don't know, but Bryant was so sweet. And I think he was too nice, and that's why they eliminated him. And then he went to go visit River, I want to say. And remember, River is a catfish. He's played by Lee, who Lee is like this older white man, probably like in his 50s. And if Lee don't stop crying, bless his heart. So now we're really into episode 2, because episode 2 is when we find out who gets eliminated, which was Bryant. Okay, so then at the end of season 2, or why do I keep saying season? At the end of episode 2 is when they get rid of Bryant, and then they find out that a new player is coming in. So now they still have 8 people because they got rid of one person, Bryant, and now they're bringing in a new person. So the person to enter was Lance Bass. Now, unfortunately, it's not the real Lance. It is a girl, Lisa, who's actually Lance's personal assistant. And so Lance comes in and, everybody's kind of fangirling except for Chloe. Chloe didn't know who he was, which fair enough. She's very, very young and she lives in the UK. She's like 22 and lives in the UK. So when NSYNC was a thing, she was barely born. Okay, so episode 4, there was a lot of shade being thrown back and forth between Terralisha and Savannah. And Savannah went back and told Courtney that Terralisha wanted to get rid of him. But to me, it wasn't like, I don't know, I felt like she was being a bit deceptive just because she didn't tell him why. It wasn't like, oh, she thought you were a threat, so da-da-da. It was like, no, like, she doesn't like you. She wants to get rid of you, blah, 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 blah. At least that's how I interpreted it. So then, of course, Courtney is kind of like, I don't really mess with Terralisha like that. We got to get Terralisha out. And Courtney himself built an alliance with River. So Courtney and River are like 2 peas in a freaking pod. And so Courtney is going to do everything to save River, just like River will do anything to save Courtney. So what happened was episode 4, there was a lot of tea, a lot of shade being thrown. And Savannah ended up getting eliminated. Now remember, just the week before, or the episode before, Savannah was a whole influencer. But Savannah and I want to say Terralisha were at the bottom. And Savannah, when she got eliminated, she got to visit the person that she thought most deserved to win. So she went to go visit Courtney. And Courtney got access to become the Joker. So Courtney became the Joker and he got to sit in the inner circle, and then that was it for like the first 4 weeks. And so we got left on red, And we had to wait to see, you know, what the inner circle is and like, you know, what the Joker did and yada, yada, yada. But long story short, Savannah went home. Okay, so now we're on episode 5 and we get 2 new players. We get Kat, who is a professional volleyball player, and Mitchell, and his mom and brother were on season 1. And they both come in as themselves. They're not catfish. They come in as themselves. So far we've gotten rid of Bryant, not a catfish. Savannah, not a catfish. And Courtney goes in as the Joker, and Mitchell and Kat get the tea on all the other players. Well, Courtney has a vendetta against Terralisha because his girl Savannah went home. So he made it seem like he was Emily. You know, he was talking about, you know, girl this, girl that, and he made it seem like he was Emily. Now, mind you, Mitchell and Kat don't know who he is yet. They don't know who anybody is. Or maybe they do. No, they don't know who anybody is yet. At least I don't think so. And Courtney played the game the way that, you know, he could, the way that he should have. And he basically made it seem like he was Emily, and that that Terralisha was not trustworthy. Chloe wasn't trustworthy, this, that, and the other. And now I get it. It's a game. I understand it's for shits and giggles, but I just couldn't get behind like Courtney doing that. Like, I understand why he did. Like, this is every man for himself. But I don't know. It was just, you know, sneaky in my book. And also, I just didn't like how he believed everything that Savannah had to say as if she couldn't have been lying. That's just, you know, Courtney takes everything for just like right then and there for face value. And he's like, oh, she said that, then it must be true. So I like Courtney, but that's a problem that I have with him. So, like I said, he made it seem like he was Emily. He played the game really well. And then him and River became influencers. And as soon as him and River were influencers, I was like, oh, Terralisha's gone. Because this one, it was, you know, they met in the circle, whatever it's called. And they were, again, they're going to save whoever. And they like everybody else. So here they are, and they ended up blocking Terralisha. Now let's go into Terralisha rant. So Terralisha was my girl. I was like, okay, like I love Terralisha. I was so upset when she got blocked. I thought she was playing the game well and fair and whatever. But then I had seen her on TikTok talking about just to let y'all, how come us light-skinned girls can't be able to love our beauty out in the open. It's always, you know, the brown-skinned girls and dark-skinned girls who get the most love and da-da-da-da. Number one, Terralisha's not light-skinned. Like, she's not. She's brown. I've never seen her in person, but I've seen her on The Circle, and I've seen her her TikTok. Baby girl's not light-skinned. And two, light-skinned girls totally get to love themselves. Like, I don't know. It was weird. It was a whole weird situation. And I was just like, I don't know how I feel about that. But I still did like her on The Circle. I just didn't really like what she had to say about this whole light skin situation. But baby girl is not light skinned. But that's just, I guess that's my opinion. Terralisha gets blocked. And then, so that's episode 5. Episode 6. Okay, so episode 5 is when Kat and Mitchell came in, and then it went into episode 6, and episode 6 is when Terralisha got blocked. And a lot of the games that they play are so much fun. They're so shady. Some of the conversations that, you know, that people they have the conversations because they're trying to, you know, they're trying to build alliances and make sure that nobody's being sneaky and whatever. So now episode 7, what happened episode 7? I think the only thing in episode 7 is, so Chloe is like head over heels in love with Trevor, but Trevor is a whole woman, which is fine. But then when Mitchell came in, he's an attractive kid, and Mitchell came in, and Chloe started flirting with Mitchell. Well, Mitchell was on Emily, and he was like, oh no, Emily's really cute, blah, 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 blah. And so he friend zoned Chloe in order to like make amends, or, to try to like, I don't want to use the word hook up because that's not what they do on this show, but, in order to like be able to flirt with with Emily with the clear conscience. So there's that. Episode 8 was kind of a fun episode, and the way that they did the elimination for episode 8 was whoever was in the bottom two immediately got eliminated. So the games that they played, Jonathan Ness from Queer Eye came, and they had to do their, like, they got a mannequin head, and they had to, like, make it up and make it look like them. Well, if you remember, Emily is played by Jack, a 21-year-old boy. I think he's 20. And baby, when I tell you that makeup looked a mess, he just like took a brush and just took powder, and no foundation, no nothing. And it looked a mess. And then Delisa, who is Trevor, hers looked a little too good. Like it looked just a little too good. And so everybody, is kind of starting to doubt, like, these people are who they say they are. And when they talked about, I think they asked, what would you do with the money? And Lisa, or Lance, said, oh, we'll do an NSYNC tour. And I don't know, she said she was trying to be funny, but it's hard to tell, if you're joking over the internet, because it's all messages. These people do not get to see each other at all. So when it came to the bottom two, the two people who got voted off were Emily and Lance. And those are the first two catfish to get voted off. And instead of them going home, and so usually what happens when somebody gets voted off, they go and they meet a person. So so Bryant went to go meet River. Savannah went to go meet Courtney. Who did Tara Alicia go visit? I think Tara Alicia went to go visit Kat. I think. I don't remember. So what happened was Lance went to go meet River, and Emily went to go meet Trevor, I want to say it was, but they ended up in the same room, and they are now working together as this new person by the name of John. This did not happen last season. This did not happen. So that was the end of the second week. So we've got 5 people out, but Jack, or Emily, and Lisa and Lance, they're not really voted out. They're still there, but they're a catfish again, known as John. So, of course, the next day, or whatever, it's all right. The next day, people are like, oh, who did Emily go visit? And everybody thought Emily would go visit Chloe because they were like BFFs. Well, when Emily didn't show up to meet Chloe, now Chloe's like, well, who did she go visit? We as the audience know she didn't go visit anybody. But Kat just assumed that Chloe was lying. She was like, she's a liar. She knows Emily went to go visit her, but what would Chloe get out of lying? Like, there was no reason for for her to lie about Emily not going to visit her. And so everybody was like, well, Emily didn't come visit me. But nobody was even concerned about Lance. Didn't nobody care about Lance. Everybody was just concerned about who Emily went to go visit. But I don't know why, but everybody was just way concerned. So I want to say we're on episode 10. Yeah, I want to say we're on episode 10. So Kat makes the mistake of hitting up Courtney and River, which, why those two? They're the strongest alliance. Kat made the mistake of hitting up River and Courtney and saying that, she thinks that Chloe's lying and this, that, and the other. So then, of course, them being the what are they called? The messy queens that they are, they go back and they tell Chloe. They're like, hey, just to let you know, like, old girl thinks you're lying. Old girl thinks you are, lying about Emily. And poor Chloe is so clueless. It's funny. But she's so clueless. She's just like, I don't understand. Like, why would anybody lie about going to see, about Emily coming to see me and blah, blah, blah. So, anyway, long story short, Kat and, because who becomes influencer? Chloe and Trevor become the influencers. And Chloe, again, is like head over heels in love with Trevor. And they decide together that they want to block Kat. So Kat gets blocked. Now, Trevor starts talking to Mitchell. And Mitchell kind of drops a bombshell saying that he thinks Courtney is a Joker because as of right now, nobody knows who the Joker is. Nobody knows who the Joker is. And Mitchell drops a bomb. Actually, I think him and Kat were talking. And Kat, they kind of figured out, because at first they were like on the Emily hype. But when Emily got eliminated and they didn't announce her as a Joker, then they thought it was Courtney. And then they were like, but all those things that Courtney said about Chloe, so now Trevor and Mitchell, because Kat got eliminated. Oh, Jesus. So because Kat got eliminated, now Mitchell and Trevor are bros, and they are trying to get Courtney and River. They need either Courtney or River out of the game because those, again, are the strongest alliances, and they're not thinking about anybody but themselves. And that's on period. They're not thinking about anybody else but themselves. And so Mitchell and Trevor talk to Chloe. But in order to get Chloe to trust them, Mitchell tells, his deep, well, it's not a deep, dark secret, but he comes out and he tells her, he's like, people think I'm, this person, and that's not really who I am. Like, I'm a virgin and all this other stuff. And Chloe's just like shocked and in awe. And she's like, why would he tell me that if he, if he didn't mean it? So she got his trust. So she kind of believes the Courtney story, but I feel like in the back of her head, she doesn't. So there's that. And yeah, so after Kat gets eliminated, then they do now mind you, let's see, who's left? There's Trevor, played by Delisa. There's John, played by Emily and Lance, or Jack and Lisa. There's Courtney, and there's River, and there's Mitchell. So they do a final vote. And for the final vote, before we find out who the finalists are, the person becomes a secret influencer. So the only person who knows they're an influencer is the person who becomes the influencer, and they have to block the person, and they have to block them to their face. So the person who became the influencer was River, and he ultimately ended up blocking Mitchell. So he went and blocked Mitchell. We knew he wasn't going to block Courtney. We knew that for a fact, or Chloe. But everybody else, I don't know. I honestly think River should have blocked Trevor because Trevor is more of a threat than Mitchell, in my opinion, because Mitchell's a cool, down-to-earth person, but like he wasn't even really trying to make those connections until the very end, and it was kind of too late at that point. So, but you know what? At this point, I kind of want Trevor to win, y'all. I'm kind of rooting for Trevor, but then I'm also rooting for Chloe. The John thing, like he's too new. It would be dope if there was, like a dual winner, two catfishes becoming another catfish. That would be kind of cool. But I'm going for Trevor because it would be dope to see a catfish win, right? And then I like Chloe. Like Chloe's just so spunky and just quirky and just, y'all, she's a lot. She's a lot to handle. Oh my God. Look at all this. This is so much blush. Oh my God. I'm pretty sure that's it. I would have broken it down more, but I don't want to tell y'all the whole story and all the episodes. And plus the games are more fun to watch. The games are more fun to watch, and the conversations are more interesting to, to hear if you choose to watch it. It's just a fun, addicting show. And it's like no harm, no foul, but it is what it is. So next week we get to see who is the winner. And to be completely honest, I truly don't care, but I would like to see Trevor or Chloe win. But it can go literally any way. I couldn't even begin to tell you who I think is going to win. I feel like a lot of people want Courtney to win, but I don't know. We'll see. All right, so I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup off camera and then I'll come back. All right, you guys, here is the finished look. You guys saw I was using my Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette. These lashes are from the Lash Plug, and my lips, I have on just like a Milani brown liner, and then I'm using Celine. It is by Lunar Beauty. When I tell you guys, these lip glosses, they are the ones. They are the ones. So let me know what you guys think about The Circle. Let me know who your favorite characters, who your favorite contestants are. Let me know if you agree with me with the whole Savannah and Terralisha situation. Just let me know. And if you guys are not watching it, you don't have to, but I highly suggest it. It's just a good guilty pleasure type of show with minimal drama because they're not in the same room as each other. So it's actually pretty cool the way that like it works out. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. Also, do not forget to link up with me on my social media, especially Twitter. All of that information will be down below in the description box. If you guys want more of me, you can sign up with me here on YouTube, or you can sign up on my Patreon. I promise I'm gonna get more into giving that kind of content, but it's been a rough month. It's been a very, very rough month. But as long as you guys won't give up on me, I will not give up on you. So until my next video, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Let's use this. Some packing. Do I want to do gold? Oh yeah, I'm definitely doing gold. Give me up, I wanna. Gotta work, go berserk, I gotta. Know you gon' wake up. Know you gotta get your cake up. Don't matter if it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's my time, my own.